Energy is becoming a very important and topical subject because development without energy cannot be realized. Even when we talk about Vision 2030, that is changing or transforming our country from the current status to a middle income industrializing nation. It is not realizable without adequate, reliable, competitively priced, sustainable, and affordable energy services. Those are critical. And indeed, the importance of energy is manifested in the correlation between the GDP growth and per capita consumption of energy of any country. If you do a spot check of the GDPs of various countries in the world, developed, developing, and the ones which are trading, you will come up with a very good relationship, almost direct. Those countries with high GDPs, they also have very high per capita consumption of energy. The ones which have low GDPs, on the other hand, have very low consumption per capita. So energy is a very critical catalyst, enabler of development. And with that importance, it is only fair that we keep Kenyans very, very well educated about energy issues. And we cannot do it alone. We can only use you as our friendly channels to communicate to the Kenyans. And that was the spirit of this partnership. A partnership to make you aware, to ensure that you will communicate from point of information rather than from point of ignorance. And I do remember that when we commenced this initiative, there was quite a lot of negative reporting on energy issues. And it was not a mistake of the journalists in most of the cases. It was lack of information. It was lack of an engagement, effective engagement between the energy sector and the media professionals. And I think since we started this important initiative, I'm glad to say that we have made quite some significant progress in the appreciation by all of us in terms of what is reported by the media insofar as energy issues are concerned. And I want to thank the media professionals for taking up the challenge of learning about these energy matters and taking time to internalize and understand and communicating from that point of information. Ladies and gentlemen, I do not want to go into the areas of the achievements of, I think we have been engaging, we have seen what strides we have made in the ministry. For example, in the area of generation, there is always a question that keeps propping up. We talked about 5,000 megawatts. Where are you? Yes, we talked about 5,000 megawatts on the basis of expectation that there will be a lot of demand that will be created by the very many activities like industrialization. That has not happened at the pace that we had contemplated. And therefore, what we have made sure is that we balance between supply and demand. Because in the energy space, if you do not balance supply and demand, then you will either make the product very expensive or you will cause shortage in the product. When the demand is more than the supply, that is rationing. One thing and one achievement that I want to enumerate is the fact that we have not had to ration electricity in the last several years, mainly because of that initiative of planting more megawatts. We have been able to plant more megawatts. I think from 2013 is almost 700 megawatts now. And even in times like this, when there is intense drought and there is very little uptake from the hydros, we have been able to make sure that every Kenyan accesses electricity at all times without having to be rationed. That is a major achievement. And the journey to put in more geothermal energy, which is not affected or negatively affected by weather, continues. We have several projects in the pipeline, more than a total of 500 megawatts, which we will continue, and of course, to make sure that we time the upcoming of these plants with the growth of the demand. You have seen the last mile project, which has benefited a lot of Kenyans. We have been able to more than double the number of customers that we had from 2013 to the current. I think the current access rate is hitting in the region of 60% of Kenyans who have power. And we target to make sure that using all models, there are off-grid models, there is on-grid models of electrification. We want to achieve universal access by 2020. It is for this reason, ladies and gentlemen, that I would urge all the stakeholders, media, ourselves, and everybody else to make sure that we are alive to what is happening in the energy sector, to inform the public in the correct way, because this is the only way we can be giving hope to Kenyans in terms of their socio-economic development. With those few remarks, ladies and gentlemen, allow me now to declare these EJEA 3 competitions officially launched. And I thank you all for listening to me.